Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first class of this luxury cake challenge. Before we started, I would like to introduce myself and let you know who I am. My name is Camilo Murcia. I'm the creator of Valetoso Luxury Cakes. I'm originally from Colombia, but I have been living in Australia for the last 15 years. As I finished my commercial cookery degree about 8 years ago, I started working as a chef, and in 2018 I had the opportunity to make a cake for one of my bosses, and from that point when my career in this beautiful industry started. I have the privilege to have get a multiple hours in this career. I have like a 5 years consecutive as the best cake maker using a buttercream. I got the best, not the best, the cake designer of the year in 2021, and also the best teacher in 2022. I had the opportunity as well to travel all around the world to meet people, to teach and transfer all this knowledge that now I have as a full-time job. Okay, so if you have any question, if you have to know a little bit about myself, please feel free. I'm gonna be here during the call live, the class. And if you have any question, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions. And also, please let me know as well where you are connected from, and if you can hear me properly. Also, I have a surprise for all the students that want to be part of this luxury challenge, and is that we're going to be sharing a phrase every day over the 3 classes. But because at the end of the classes, at the 3rd day, the person or the student that create the whole sentences, we're going to put it in a basket. The basket, we're going to make it online, and we're going to make a raffle, and the hour is going to be one access to one of my online classes that I'm going to be sharing for the perfect cake, where I'm going to include a lot of techniques, a lot of processes, and many surprises. So please don't forget and stay until the end, because we're going to be sharing a lot of information, and at the end of the class is when I'm going to share the phrase for each class. Okay, I have created a little bit notes to make sure that I'm not going to miss any information today. But one of the reasons that I have created this luxury cake challenge is because, as I mentioned before, I have the opportunity to be in many countries, in many cities around the world, and always my students ask me the same question. So instead of make a class to show you how to make a cake, how to get the right technique, I decided to create this luxury cake challenge, when I'm going to be sharing all the information or all the important points that you need to know as a cake designer to multiply your income by 10. Because I have once again the privilege and the opportunity to see many of my students that they can call cake designer as a full-time job, where they're helping the families and they helping themselves financially, that they can survive as a cake designer, because it is possible. Okay, so after that, is also very important that we have clear in mind when the point that we're talking in the first live session is like always thinking positivity, and you will see that all your dreams come true. Okay, now I'm going to be sharing a testimonial from one of my students in Africa, that she was part of my classes, and now she became like a full-time cake designer. Here is the video. It's going to be 5 minutes when she's going to tell you how has been the experience after taking a class, and sharing when I share all my secrets with her. Okay, here you go.
My name is Hofaone Ivy Mbojani. I'm from Botswana. I'm a confectioner, a pastry. Camelo has changed my life. Camelo has changed my buttercream sculpting. Camelo has changed my buttercream techniques. Camelo has changed my sales in terms of buying. Generally, he has done a lot for me. And, you know, I'm happy because my clients are going along with what I'm doing and they're happy. Every day I have to have an order. There's no day that I'm missing out without an order. And I remember back then I was a little bit scared of charging my clients in connection with the buttercream. But Camilo told me, when I asked him, Camilo, I'm very scared because people always have something to say regarding what you are selling. Some are saying, why are you expensive? Why are your cakes so expensive? But they don't know the expenditure that you are spending. The expenditure, they come from labor. They come from the technique. They come from the design. They come from so many aspects that they don't know. So I think a lot of people, they have to learn. But I can't complain so far from 2019 up to now. I would say that I have lesser complaints because people are getting to understand the conceptual framework behind this idea of signature buttercream that is exclusive. It's not for everyone. It's for people who know style. If you know people who like luxury, if you know people those kind of people who like to do exclusive things. Those are the type of customers that I have currently. Camilo has done a lot for me. I would tell you that every day it's an order. Every day there's an order coming in. Every day there's a client coming into my business ordering because of the buttercream that I'm doing, because it's less sweet, the technique, the smoothness, you know, the texture of the cake. What he has taught me, you know what, is for life. I'm going to even generate it even into my great-grandchildren, even into my grandchildren, even into my siblings, those who are willing to learn anyway, because this sugar crafting is not for everybody. It's for people who are passionate like me.
Okay. So now, as usual, if you have been part of the whole luxury cake challenge process, we're going to be working with one of the members of my team that she has been a big supporter that is going to help you with all the process and all the questions, or if you have any issue about the class, she's going to be helping with questions and everything, okay? As you know, Viviana, we're going to invite Viviana to be part of the class, and we just need to wait until she join us in a second. Vivi, you here? Are you there?
Hi, Cami. How are you? Good to see you again. I'm so happy to be here, part of the Luxury Cakes channel. Finally, we are here. Luxury Cakes Challenge.
Yes, finally, the first class has started. And thank you, Vivi, for being part of this project and all you help that you have been giving us over this process. Okay?
Yeah, I'm so happy because finally we can tell everybody the promise of that you are given to the cake designer and chefs with this Luxury Cakes Challenge.
Yes, but Vivi, let me check first if everyone can hear us properly. Please just type in number 1 just to make sure that everyone is hearing us properly. And also, please let us know where you are. Where are you based? Where are people is watching us from? Please, I want to read. Well,
wow, there's a lot of people around the world, many countries.
Yeah, people from Australia, the US, UK,
Colombia.
Colombia. Nice to have people from my country. Colombian forever. Proud of my country is nice. Thank you very much. Thank you for all people that is connected with us, people who wants to take their business to another level. Okay, so and yes,
let's remember that we are looking to help cake designers and chefs to increase or multiply by 10 your profitability on your cake business. That's the main purpose of this luxury cake.
That's the point. And actually, this is why I was very keen to create this luxury cake challenge, because with experience that I have like with students from everywhere, from all over around the world, I have been always writing down the question that they ask me the most. And what I have created for this challenge is like I made a list of the 8, 9, or 10 points that people is asking me. So this is what we're talking right now, that why I'm so happy to be sharing all my secrets, my tips, what is gonna be the secret to achieve that dream, how you can multiply your incomes, how you can become as a full-time cake maker, that you can support your family financially. And there is nothing better than when you can live from your passion, as I'm doing right now. So I wrote down here a little the points that I would like to share with you. And the first question, and the most popular question, is like, how can I improve my incomes and to make the cake business as a full-time job? This is one of the topic, the first topic that we're going to be talking about. The second point is how to make beautiful cakes, but make people to pay for that by the time that I spend using to make the cakes. The third point is how to make you be successful without investing a lot of money in equipment, ingredients, and all the tools that people think that you need for creating a beautiful cake, that you need to invest a lot of money. The fourth point is how to be different. And this is actually one of my favorite points, is how when you put like the style, when you create your signature style, this is how you be different of all the cake makers that already exist in the market. How the 5 is how to be more productive as well. Remember, as I have been mentioned over the week, is time is money. Time is money, and we need to make this business more profitable. We need to consider always the time that we take to make the cake and the money that people pay for your cakes too. So everything, you need to find always a balance in between the production time and the price that you can get from clients too. Also, is a question that is probably it's not the most common, but it's like is how can I travel around the world? How became an international cake designer? This is another point that we're going to be talking. We're going to be sharing all my experience. What was the point that I was working on when I start my career as a cake designer, and how I can travel all around the world those days. And also,
it's so important to share this information, because you have been where all the people who is joining us right now and are right now. So, for example, you went from Colombia to Australia looking for your dreams to be a better cake designer and all the time improving. So you understand how they feel right now. So that I think that it's really important to share.
Absolutely. That's because I just was about talking about to the point, is because why I decide, or why I consider these points the most important one, because at the beginning of my career as a cake designer, that was the point that I was always thinking how this one could be possible. I was in the same position, and I'm probably many of you are at the moment, like thinking about how can I get a better income? How can I travel around the world? How can I create a beautiful cakes without using expensive tools? How can be more productive? How can my people or my clients or pay for my cakes for the time that I used to make my cakes? So this is why this is the main reason that I have decided, because I passed for the same experience. And for me, it's very, very grateful to see many of my students that they can improve the incomes and became as a cake, have the cake design job as a full-time job as well. And also I got different, like 2 or 3 students that they travel at the moment as well, like teaching around the world. There's someone, especially there is one boy that he's traveled like all around the world. He has been visiting a lot of countries. He just started the process, and someone that could always recommend it. If you reach the point, if you get to the point that when you know how you master your technique, when you became unique, when you are different from someone else, I'm going to be the person that I'm going actually to help you, recommend you to all the hosters that I have around the world. They always asking me, Camilo, who think that could be the next person to come? And as I mentioned as well in one of the live sessions, I don't consider anyone a competitor. For me, all of you are colleagues, and we always need to help each other. We need to push always each other up to be better, to share our knowledge, to share all the secrets and the tips. And this is how we can make this work better in the cake industry too. Okay?
Cami, so
now
you were
let me
talking
just
about
see.
that you were traveling around the world. We would love to hear which country were you visiting, and also sharing your knowledge, because I know you travel like a world tour teaching.
Yes. I mentioned it as well. Like when I saw one of the students, or one of my students in one of my classes, online classes, when you reach the point of the technique, because people, you cannot teach if you no master the technique. When you became a master in the technique is when you can transfer that information to someone else. But when you know 100% of what you're doing, it's hard. For me, that now, because I have been practice, I'm feeling comfortable to transfer that knowledge. And be honest too, at the beginning, it wasn't easy for me, because it was to the point and ready to transfer this information to someone else. But this is when I start to master my technique, and when I felt that my technique was right, is when I start to offer my services as a teacher. And now, as you can see, I'm travel all around the world teaching how to make a beautiful, a perfect cake. That this is the project that we're gonna work at the end of this luxury cake challenge. I will sharing surprises. I know I can't say much, because it's gonna be a surprise at the end of this luxury challenge. Okay.
Cami, also tell us, some of the people, maybe here must be a lot of people who knows you already, but maybe others don't. You just won another award, and you have many awards during this process of these careers. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I have I have been working in the industry as a cake designer. 5 years ago, in 2018, is when I became a full-time cake maker. And from that year, I have been getting the best Baracrin Artist of the Year. In 2021, I got the best teacher of the year. And in 2022, I got the cake designer of the year. I have always, because I'm improving, and I'm getting my techniques and better. And this is for me, this is the reason that I have been getting this recognition to be the best in my area. And also, I always saying that you need to become the best in one thing. People, with all total respect of my colleagues, or if you are someone who work with fondant, someone who work with ganache, someone who work with Baracrin, but when you are good in everything, you're never gonna be the best in anything. So this is how, when once again, and I'm very always talking about the technique. So you need to become the best in what you decide is gonna be your signature, point of the cake industry. Okay.
Yes, Cami, and also as you travel around the world, like you took workshops at Dubai, Latin America, USA, many countries around the world, and then you find there's a lot of people who has this dream of making the pastry or the cake business this passion to make it a business. And sometimes we found that you were telling me the difference between them and you, for example, that you get to that point of making it profitable is the information that they have. How much is the percentage of the people that you know around the world that is looking to make this passion a business?
Yes, this is one of the points that we're going to talk in the Luxury Cake Challenge, because this is one of the reasons that I decided to create this luxury challenge, or call it this luxury challenge. When I was mentioned at the beginning that I was in the same position as probably, or many of you are at the moment, that I said where I should go, where is going to be the start point, what should be like focus in. This is like I will tell you the right information. What happened at the beginning of this career? You start to get very confused, and you don't know the right start. Where is gonna be the best person to learn from? Where is gonna be the basis to start to making a buttercream? So this luxury challenge is when I'm going to show you the right information. I'm going to give you the right tips, and the tips that help me to become one of the best cake makers around the world at the moment. That I travel all around the world, sharing my knowledge too. And once again, please don't take me wrong. The technique, people, the technique, the essential when you make cakes, when you have the right technique, I can guarantee you're gonna increase your income. I don't want to say 10 times. You will say 1,000 times. And you're gonna be like I have many testimonials. You can go to my Instagram and share with all my students. They can prove that what I'm saying is true. It's not because I just want to make you think that it's not possible. It is possible. It is possible. I made it, and I have many people, or many of my students have become like a full-time cake makers, and I know you can make it too. Always thinking positive, the things could happen, and make all those dreams come true. Okay.
Sometimes people think like with this limitation that you're talking, let's think positively. That with the crisis in the world, like economic crisis, and how can you keep growing up all the time, even if the world is in this kind of crisis?
Sorry, Bibi, say again. What did you say?
How can you keep growing up in your business, even if the world, because sometimes like people say, no, the world is in economic crisis right now, but you are showing that it is possible to keep growing in this industry.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I'm very surprised with this industry is like that. Well, we can start with one thing. People, cakes exist everywhere in the world, in every religion, in every language. Always a cake is part of our celebration, and it happens in all culture. This is one of the starting points. So wherever you are, all cakes could be a business. Also, as you know, the economic now those days is one of the points that always think about it. People is like struggling with the jobs, trying to find a job, and they want to take the cake design business or the cake design industry. How you come or became a full-time maker, and will be nothing better that you became your passion as a full-time job. This is the luxury cake where we're going to talk about how you jump to be a home cake maker to become like a proper cake designer when you have this job as a full-time job, and you can support your family, and you're gonna have a beautiful life. I don't want to say honestly, it's not easy. It's something that doesn't happen just from one night, but with step by step, and you will see how from 1K a week, 2 weeks you're going to jump 10, or depends on the capacity of your kitchen, capacity of your skills as well, or if you want to make only 3 or 4 cakes. But this is all this challenge that we're going to talk about, and we're going to share all the tips and secrets of what. Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I heard you have a secret phrase to share with at the end of this luxury cake challenge. You're going to give like a secret phrase to share one of your surprises. If you can tell us again.
Yes, and also like I was saying at the beginning that we're going to share the one phrase that we're going to put in at the end of the class. That at the end of the 3 classes, we're going to have who sent us the full sentences. We're going to put them all in a raffle to be part of the perfect cake, where I'm going to be sharing that my latest technique, how to be a better in the business, how to be more productive, how increase your income, and how to make flowers, buttercream, round cakes, square cakes. There are many things. I'm not gonna tell you everything. I'm gonna keep a little bit of the surprises by the end of the challenge, and you will see that it's worth it. Totally worth it. Stay tuned because we're going to be sharing a little secrets, tips, and opportunities to be part of the perfect cake. Okay,
so let's go to the point of this important master class that we are having today. So we would like to hear from you, if you hear well, if the people who is right here in this live.
Oh yes, please make sure that you're still there, that you hear it properly, and clear. If you can understand easily what we're saying, please. And also when hi, okay, Sophia from Portugal. Oh, how are you? Nice to see people from everywhere. Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you. I honestly don't have words to express how happy it made me. I see many people live with us, the people who wants to share this challenge with us. And now we're gonna be sharing the process, the opportunities to improve your business. Okay, so the first thing is the goal for this challenge is make you transfer all this information to you, and you're going to make it happen and make your business getting better and better and better.
Okay, so let's start with the first problem that we have with all the information that you got from the students and the people around the world. They said the first problem we figured it out is, I take a long time to produce my cakes and the sale price doesn't cover the real cost of the time invested.
Yes, this is one of the points. Even when I'm teaching, that people is still struggling, especially with the technique and the ingredients they're using. Buttercream is one of the biggest examples that I have. That at the beginning, when I started this process in the cake industry, it was the time the buttercream used to take me to get it perfectly, how to make a white buttercream, how to make the price of the ingredients by the time, to always find a balance, the productivity, how much time was taking me. Sometimes it's something that we don't keep in, or we don't think about it, is the electricity, how long you need to keep your mixer going, the gas that you use as well. So these are all the topics that we always thinking about, and you always need to find a better and easier and faster way we work, because once again, remember, time is money. So the first thing it was for me, it was develop my medium, the buttercream, the Australian buttercream. As you know, I have been recognized as well like one of the best buttercreams in the world, especially for the stability. And I would like to share one tip that is, people ask me, how can I make my buttercream white, 100% white? I have a different methods to do it, but I will show you probably. This one is take a little bit longer, but you get a better results. I used to put the titanium, but when I'm explaining that process in a few countries, titanium is not allowed, especially in the UK. So from that point, from that information, I was just swapping around how we can make it different without using the titanium. So my first recommendation, before you start to work in your buttercream recipe, you need to put the buttercream into the mixer and whip it for 5, 3-5 minutes until it's 100% pale, and put it back in the fridge. When you put it back in the fridge until they come back to the fridge temperature, or when it's hot again, you start the process of your buttercream, and you will see a huge difference in the color of your buttercream. As you see that I was showing in the photo, this is the buttercream, or the color that you get of the buttercream if you do that process before you make your buttercream. Look how white is the buttercream. Obviously, it's not 100% white, but the color is, the change is that you can see the difference like 100%.
Super nice tip for this cake chased up already using the buttercream. Okay, let's jump to the next step. I don't know how to differentiate myself from the competition. I think this is one of the biggest problem of the chef designers and cakes.
Absolutely. One of the things that I will recommend you is just think out of the box. Most, I would say 95% of the cakes are round. So why we not start with a cake with angles? The most common one after the round, I will say a square. Many people is afraid to make a square cake. People, when you have the right information and the technique, believe me, for me, it's easier than a round cake. And the benefit of this one is, as soon as you have the technique, or you master the technique to make a cake with angles, I don't want to call it a square. I want to call a cake with angles, because after that you can create cakes with a hexagonal cakes, rectangular cakes, square cakes, any cake with angles. And the tip for this point is like every time that you work in a cake with angles, you need to work always angle by angle. This is not how we make a round cake. Usually people, when making round cakes, they just grab the scraper and start to push your turntable. This is not the way to make a square cake. A square cake always has to be corner by corner or angle by angle. If we're talking about with a square, you need to make all the right angles, and then you need to flip your scraper and work from the left to the right. At the beginning, remember, from the right to the left first, and then from the left to the right. Always starting in one of the corners and never going to the other one. You need to always stop like 2 centimeters before to don't destroy the process. And this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is one tip to make a square cake or a cake with angles, and you will see a huge difference. And you can see as well, like this is the perfect square cake. And when you master those angles, you are 10 steps ahead of any cake maker.
This is amazing. It doesn't look like a cake. This is so perfect. This is amazing how to get those perfect angles.
Yes, and I was saying when you have the perfect technique, sometimes like a pure white cake with 2 or 3 flowers is more than enough. This is when you can impress your client and the people. It's because the technique taught by himself. And I remember when I went to the first competition in the international cake show, the feedback that I got from the judges, it was like your technique is impeccable. And this is one of the things that pushed me be a better. This is when I found the technique for me is more than essential than something else. Technique, became a master in the technique. And when you manage that, believe me, you are 10 steps ahead of any other cake maker.
Awesome. Thank you, Cami. So let's jump to the next tip or topic, the factor wow. My cakes don't make the impact I want.
That's back to the second point that we're talking about, is how to be different. So if you have a perfect canvas, when the angles are perfect, or if we're talking about the round cake, is when if you have the perfect top with a perfect edges, you're 10 steps ahead. And also, when you explore the new techniques, you need to still thinking out of the box. Just Don't go what the market is showing you. This is one of the most common thing of, I would say, cake makers, dress maker, like people wants to follow what is in the market. People, don't be afraid to be different, to explore new things. So when you have a different techniques, when you start to play with the techniques, when you create different colors, as you see in the photo as well, this is like a watercolor technique that we have blending colors together. As you see as well in the one, is like there is no a combination of the colors. You can see like how the dark green is like completely blending into the light colors without make the cake look messy. Once again, when you know the technique and you can create as many designs as possible, as many colors as you want, and play with the position of the flowers. Look, this one, we got like two different flowers here with a couple of leaves, and the cake is, and I'm sure if you show one of these cakes to your clients, they're gonna be always like, wow, 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 wow. So this is like once again, to be like to have that point and going to make you different from someone else is that the technique, and master the technique. You have the perfect canvas, and then when you have the technique, whatever technique you're applying on your cakes, you can be applying the watercolor technique, the fog velvet technique, the sculpting buttercream. There are many. So, but whatever you decide, always become a master in the technique.
Really important. That's why it's really important to invest in your knowledge and to learning every day at something different, and to keep practicing all the time, because this is not, as you said, this is not like something that you do from one day to another. It takes time, but to get to this point, then to start learning from people who already did it.
Definitely. Always practice make you a master. This is always what I'm saying to all my students. Look, before Vivi, before you keep reading the third point, look, this is another cake that we please leave the diapositive that we're going to show you. I would like to show the cake. Like this is another possibility. Like well, we're using exactly the same technique, and you can see as well flowers, wafer paper flowers, and watercolor technique. The cake looks totally different. This is look more romantic, more feminine, the color, that touch. So this is how you can start to play and make totally different using the same technique. When you have like how to deal with your technique, how you can mix the colors together, this is how you start to create like a pieces that clients they will not see that is the same technique because they look totally different. Okay, Vivi, just keep going with the next step.
So the next step is I feel stuck. I keep using the same techniques as always.
Yeah, well, this is actually probably I went ahead before you read the question. That's the point that we're going to we want to always follow the trend. We just want to do the dripping cake with a flower. This is not the way to be different. This is not the way to be different from someone else. We always need to explore the technique, how we can make a difference, how we can make it that looks totally different, even if you're using the same technique. As I showed you in the other photo, the first cake, green, look a little bit more like a rustic finish with autumn colors. Now we went to a very pinky, romantic, and feminine piece using the same technique, but always exploring the new possibilities. With the technique, when you make flowers, look, exactly the same technique. This one is magnolias and the other one is roses. Same technique, just playing with the shapes, with the texture, the colors, always try new things. Don't be afraid to fail. People, you can imagine how much paper I waste at the beginning, how much butter I have to put in the bin, because this is how I reach all the points or all the techniques that I have developed by the date. Tasting. This is how you find the new ways to work and be different. Okay.
Okay, Cami, let's look at the comments, or if you have any question, we will be answering the questions at the end of the Luxury Cake Challenge, the 3 master classes. So if you have questions, just write it down, and we will see it. And
yes, please just send us questions. I know when I answer the questions right now, because I know when, especially this class, this first class is a little bit longer than the other ones, because actually I have a surprise that's coming very, very soon. And please write all the questions. If you have anything in particular that you want to know, please right now, and we're going to be answering at the end of the class. Okay, please.
Write the number 1 if you are watching us, and if everything is okay, the sound and the sharing of the
looks like that everyone is getting at 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1.
Perfect. Okay,
Yes.
so let's jump to the next step. How can I evolve a technique that already exists to put my personal stamp on it? I think this is really, really important, because everybody wants to have their personal stamp.
Yeah, this is an example of that. This is the full velvet signature by Aletoso technique. This is a technique that has been in the industry, I will say 100 years, 50 years. Honestly, no, I don't know the number, but it's a very popular and well-known technique. And this is the technique that people use with chocolate and cocoa butter. One thing, remember, luxury cakes doesn't mean expensive materials. One of the biggest issue with the faux velvet technique, or the regular faux velvet technique, is the prices of the machines that you need to invest to. In my process, when I saw that technique, I fall in love when I saw it. But when I was doing the research, how to get it done, you need chocolate, you need butter, you need a compressor, a high compressor, and a special gun as well to apply the chocolate. For me, it was a big no. At the beginning, I know we don't have a budget to invest in expensive tools, and this is one of the reasons. As you will see, I'm always working with the equipment that I have in my kitchen. I use always the hair dryer, the hair strainer, the kettles, the solder irons, the scissor for kids. Like you will see in the process that how you, with the things that you have around your place or your kitchen, even, that this is more than enough to work in your case. And also, back to the faux velvet technique, I have developed my own technique when the result is exactly the same, but I don't use chocolate, I don't use butter, I don't need expensive materials, I don't use expensive equipment, and also is made in seconds. You will be impressed. And this is one of the things that I like, or I enjoy the most in the classes, when people is, that's all. This is all, and that's all. And always looking for be productive, be efficient, always looking the best way to make my students make the business more profitable. And this is the Luxury Cake Challenge about. This is how you make me more productive, how are you going to increase your income by 10, and how to be more productive. But remember, I was exactly the same position, but when you have the right information and the right knowledge, is you don't need to pass for all that situation. That I no regrets, because I always enjoy my job, but to me a lot of time and money investing in materials to trial, to do the how we're gonna work if we work with this one. So now I'm going to be sharing all that information that you can go straight to the point and make that business to jump from 1 to 10 in one go.
Awesome, Cami. That is the way that how cake designers and chefs can improve the cake business to another level, to shift the cake business.
Definitely.
Okay. We have many problems with the people that is always sharing this information. That's how we figure out these special ones. I think that getting to make a cake of that level is impossible. We came back to the mentality, limited mentality.
That is not impossible. There is something that always keep it in mind. It was like and also I'm gonna be honest, I will never expect to travel the world. This is something that I never expected, because I don't want to say yes. When I became a cake maker, my priority was travel around the world. But when I was working in the technique, when I was trying to be different to someone else, is when I got the first email, like someone invited me to another country to go. Why? Because I distinguished my work was like a highlight, was like a spot in many of the cake makers, because I wasn't afraid to take the risks, to be different, to have that uniqueness that today is what it made me travel around the world. But once again, I have been saying, and you're going to be listen to me, this phrase all the time: technique, people, technique. Technique is the base. When you master your technique, you can go everywhere, and you can escalate your business from 1 to 10 in one go. With people, you need to always concentrate in the technique and be more productive, because technique means time. When you know how to work with your cakes, I can guarantee you that you can ice your cake between 8 and 10 minutes.
And as you said, time is money. And you prove it with your buttercream, with the full velvet, holy peony, with all the techniques that you took, as you have saying. You do something special to win in, save in materials, in tools. So if you take, how do you say that? Plus material, plus tools, plus everything you have to invest to make these cakes. If you are saving that money, well, you will get a better price.
Absolutely. One of the steps is, because when I'm talking about from 1 to 10, it's not like you're going to sell 10 cakes a week. It's like when you save time, when you save money in equipment, when you save time in ingredients, this is how everything starts to help you to get a better result, better incomes, and escalate your business from 1 to 10.
Awesome. This is amazing. Okay, so we have here your signatures, your flowers that look so realistic. And they said, I can find the materials I need easily.
Yes, this is one of my priorities, because since I became an international cake maker, for me, it's a priority that the ingredients that I use for my cakes, they are available everywhere in the world. One of the things that for me, and it's probably and it's popular everywhere, is the wafer paper. But wafer paper comes in 2 different thickness. We go like a single thickness and double thickness. One thing that is not common everywhere, or is not easy to find everywhere in the world, is the double thickness wafer paper. It's a paper that have, as I said, like a double thickness, is thicker, is harder, is easier to work, depends on the flour that you work into. So for that reason, I developed how we can create the double thing in a very simple step, super easy. And this is when remember, sometimes like when we complicate things, they became harder. Always look for the easy and the fastest way, how you can make your life easier, your business more profitable than one. And this is how I create how you make your double thickness paper, if you can find it in your country, city, or where you are based.
Okay, let's go to the video that we are going to share how Camilo take just 5 minutes to make the double wafer paper.
Enjoy. Here is everything that you need for this class. First item, kettle, wafer paper, petal template, floral wire, silicone mold, fondant, towel paper, food color, scissors, small scissors, brush, small spatula, clay, baby wipes, and a paint. Before I start to work or before I start to the process to make the wafer paper orchid, I would like to explain you a little bit of the wafer paper that you can find in the market. Here in Australia, we are very lucky that we are available to find the double thickness wafer paper, and this one is usually that I use for my orchid flower. But I know that there is the double thickness wafer paper is not available in many countries. So I will show you today how to create your own double thickness wafer paper. So the first step it depends on the size of the flower that you're making. You just need to cut this one in half to make it double. But before to put this one together, we're gonna use the petal template because it's easier to see through the paper when it's only one layer, and we're gonna just follow the line to get the petal stamped on your wafer paper. And also there are two different textures that you can find in the single thickness wafer paper. There is one is corrugated and the other one is like a fine. I like personally to work on the corrugated one because that little holes help us to get a special effect when you paint your flower. Now when you have drawn the three different petals, we're gonna get one of the baby wipes, and we're gonna, using the fine size of the paper, we're gonna wet the whole piece. We just need to touch it and rub it like this much. Don't make any pressure because if you put too much water on the paper, they're gonna take ages to dry. So now make sure that you cover every single space, and to make sure that you're gonna stick the paper properly. So now when both papers are together, we're gonna start process to cut. Perfect. I'm gonna start with the big one. As you notice, I didn't go to the very close part of the flower with the big scissors because I can't rip the paper if I use the scissors. So for that, I use a little ones and just to make your petal perfectly cut. Just remove the little pieces, and this one. And now this is how the three pieces looks like, and they are ready to go. Big one, medium one, and the little piece for the center.
Wow, this is amazing, Cami. So simple steps and you get the solution.
Yes, yes. This is like I love that. I love the comments, because it's when I teaching and when I show the process that of the materials that I use, people is like, wow, that's all. This is and people is and many people I mean, but how you come with all that ideas? It's like always I always like looking for a more efficient kind of, because I remember at the beginning the double thickness wafer paper wasn't common here in Australia either. For those days it's easy to find, but at the beginning, and I said, well, I need a stronger paper. It's something that lasts longer. So I need more structure for my flowers. Depends on the flowers they are working. And one tip that I can give you here with the wafer paper flower is, if you're making a fluffy flower like a rose, peonia, always use a single thickness. Your flower is gonna be more realistic, and the movements of the petal is gonna be softer than when you use the double thickness. And if you create it, I call it single flower, like the orchid, like what is I forgot the name. The poppy as well. There are flowers that only have like a 3 or 4 petals. You should use a double thickness paper, wafer paper, that help you with the structure of the petals and make it look more real with it when you use the double thickness paper.
That's a super tip. Wow. Let's jump to the next step. So here we have, wow, this amazing flower. I always use the same materials.
Yes, this is
like totally different from the first one, the orchid.
Yeah, this is like a rose by using rice paper. And this is, remember, my mediums to work with my cakes is buttercream and edible paper. When you're talking about edible paper, we're talking about like wafer paper, rice paper, and sugar paper. All three has totally different ways to work, totally different results. One is clear, one is like the wafer paper has a different color. You can find in different colors in the market. Now you can find the different colors. Wafer paper, you can put too much water. Rice paper has to be full of water. And also, I will take advantage of this class to explain something about the names of the paper. Here in Australia, we don't have any issue because we have many influences from the Asian countries, and we have very clear what is a rice paper. People in another countries, in most of the countries, they call rice paper wafer paper. Rice paper is the paper that usually comes round in a 22 centimeter diameter and is clear, it's translucent. You can see yourself. If you put the hand behind, you can see your hand. The wafer paper is the A4 piece that usually comes in a single thickness. One of the sides is corrugated or have like a rustic finish, and the other is very smooth. And the sugar paper is the one to comes always in acetate. That one is that we use to print image or paint on that paper.
This is one of the solutions that we had that you said at the beginning. People sometimes don't have the information, the right information. So maybe they use the same material, but there are different materials around.
Yeah, and once again, technique. How I make my flowers, exactly the same technique when I use rice paper, when I use wafer paper. Remember, how you treat the wafer paper is different to the rice paper, but the technique to make the flower, to put all the petals together is exactly the same. It's that you just need to know what works for the rice paper and what works for the wafer paper by always using the same technique. And color, remember, color is something that is an endless topic, and you can play with as many colors as you want, or depends on the client's brief for the order.
I think when you have the cake on a party or on a celebration and you go with this kind of flowers or details, then the people must say like, no, I don't want to eat it, please.
Yeah. But it's always like there are always someone that is very curious and I say, I really want to try it, I really want to try it. And the cake that you see, the pink cake with the magnolias, it was for a 60th birthday, and the lady, she wants to keep the flowers with her. She didn't allow anyone to touch them, that she didn't allow anyone to eat it, because she the first thing that she fell in love was for the flower. She was like a blow mind. I said, it's unbelievable, they are not real. And I said, yes, they are wafer paper flowers. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Here we have the same flower in another view, but this is such amazing flower.
This is how and look, can you see in that photo that the paper, you can see like a little bit translucent, so you can always see, and you create a different effect. This one, sometimes when you put the light on the one, they look like a crystal pieces. Mm-hmm.
Wow, another amazing flower. I need a specialized tool to achieve a good finish.
This is
about that.
This is the you don't need to be specialized to achieve a perfect finish. And always, also when I'm working on my case, I always work in all details from the very beginning. If you will start working in all details, how are you going to make your cake, your flour, your technique better? If we take always those details from the beginning, you don't need to get specialized in anything in particular to get a better look. Once again, the technique, when you have the right technique, also the time that you take to make a flour, a cake, is from the baking process until you put the last flour has to be always very efficient, and always working from the beginning. Is something like even when I'm baking as well, when I'm lining my molds, I don't like to leave any wrinkle or any signs on the paper or the linen paper, because I want my cakes 100% round without no wrinkles around. So it means that I don't need to fill them with buttercream when I'm doing the process. All the little details that is not going to take you more than 5 seconds to do it is going to help you in the process. And time, all the little seconds that if you don't work on them from the very beginning, they become seconds, minutes, hours, and when it's people don't pay for it. And this is when you start to complain and I say, but I took 10 hours making a cake and people is not paying that one. Yes, because you're not doing the right process. I know when I say also, please, that the process that I'm using is the perfect one, but this is the process that worked for me, and this is the process that is taking me around the world to teach. So for me, is the perfect way to make a cake.
It is true, and if it works for you, then so good. It is going to work for everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
It's an amazing flower. It's incredible. Okay, I don't think I can achieve my dream of making my cake business successful for me and my family. I think this problem is going to be one of the biggest one. And also important because it's the family in there, our dream.
Of course, you can achieve that. I have the proof of many of my students. There are many cake designers that they have this job as a full-time job. You can have a successful business. You can make this passion or hobby, what you want to call it, as a full-time job and support your family and make this job or your passion. And there is nothing better when your passion became a like full-time job. Of course, it's possible. It's possible. And here is one of the biggest examples that you can. Now I became 5 years. I have been working in the industry for 5 years as a full-time cake maker. It is possible. And this is one of the secrets that we're going to share tomorrow. We're going to share how you can achieve that. I will show you, I will prove you that you can achieve that dream. If you have it as a dream, you can become as a full-time cake maker when you have the right information and you practice and make all that technique Perfect.
And this problem that it's also not a problem in the business, it's also with our heart, with our dream, with what we want, with our family, children, because as you said, 90% of the people that comes to you have the dream of making this cake passion a business. So tomorrow we are going to start with this problem.
Yes, this is gonna be the first topic tomorrow in the class. We're going to, I will show you, I'm going to share with you like how is like everything is possible, like how can you achieve like have this business as a full-time job. And also before I leave, before I say thank you and goodbye to everyone, we're going to share the phrase of the day. Is I'm sure. Write it down. Take a piece of paper, a pen, write it down. We're gonna be sharing another phrase tomorrow and another phrase on Wednesday. And at the end of this luxury cake challenge, you need to put that phrase all together and send it to us, and we're going to put you in a basket, in a digital basket, and we're going to make a raffle, and you have the possibility to win one of the access to my online classes when we're going to be sharing many things, many secrets, many techniques, the buttercream recipe, and more and more and more and more and more. Thank you very much. Thank you. Like once again, no words to express how grateful I feel now, seeing like too many people interested to learn from me, many people who wants to take this business to another level, how to be more productive, how improve you or increase your income by 10. Thank you very much. And
remember, tomorrow we have the second class, Discover 5 Simple Steps of the Luxury Cakes Challenge to multiply your profitability.
Yes, as you see, there is like the diapositive that we share in this moment. This is going to be the topic tomorrow. Discover the 5 simple steps of the luxury challenge and how multiply UK business. So
and tomorrow we have a very special surprise, because with this class, you will be teaching there in your kitchen how to make a rose flower.
Well, I thought we were going to say that, but well, just that she mentioned it. Yes, tomorrow part of the class, and we'll say the most attractive class is gonna be, I'm going to show you how to make a rose using the materials that you have at home. I will show you how we use a hair dryer, and I'm gonna be working from my kitchen. I will show you that you don't need to work in a expensive venue, or you need to hire a kitchen, a special kitchen. Everything could be possible at home with what you have around you. Okay? So don't miss this class tomorrow. It's gonna be the most attractive class if you are into make flowers, and I will say 100%. I will say 100% of the cake makers are interested in flowers. The most common case come with flowers, but you need to put that stamp to make it unique.
Please write down if you like this class, how do you like it, share with the people that you know this is going to like this information. And we are going to let at the end of this video a link where we will love to hear more from you and to learn more from you, the people who are watching us right now. So please go to the link straight right and write all the information, because we are going to keep sharing all this valuable content for all of you.
Yes, please, whatever you want to know, you have any question, everything. And also I will say thank you very much, Vivi, for your support. It has been amazing, and it's easier to always having like a supporter or someone who talking to that always keeping me or leading me from the right. I like to talk a lot. I talk a lot, and this is what the reason that I want to have you here, because I want someone to always keep me in the right way to get the right information for all my students or people who is watching me. If you haven't been a student, you should one day. Can't wait to meet you all.
Thank you to everyone. Thanks to you, Cami, for sharing all this information. Let's remember the key phrase, the secret phrase. I'm sure. So we'll see you
I'm
tomorrow
sure.
in another masterclass. Thanks to everyone for sharing and for joining us at the Luxury Cake Challenge.
Bye, everyone, from everywhere in the world, and see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.